So, in terms of personal finance and building a business and whatnot, what issues have you seen people like around you run into, or the most common issues that you see in your DMs? What would you say?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of us, like the way we're brought up to just think about credit. No one thinks of good credit, everyone thinks of bad credit. So we think of bad debt. So we think of credit cards as I need a holiday, but I can't afford it. It's explaining to people. Like, people will say, why are you recommending credit cards? Why are you getting people into debt? Like, no, I'm giving you a credit card that if you use it right, it's going to make you money, or it's going to give you some perks. So I think that was like the biggest thing I got from people, is like trying to explain what is good debt. Like, what if you get a credit card and you pay it off straight away, then it's going to help your credit score and it's going to give you reward points. Like, that was probably the most thing. Yeah,
I think with that, touch on that, I feel like it needs to be taught that it can actually be used for good. The rich use it for good.
Yeah.
The 1% use it for, wealth. All these people, for example, like Elon Musk, they're not selling all of their Tesla stock to live their life. They're getting loans off it, so they're using credit for good uses to then live their life. So it's like teaching this skill to us in a cultural sense. It's like trying to just break that barrier. And break like years and years of parents just teaching the wrong things.
So you said about Elon Musk, and like Warren Buffett's always one that people bring up. Like, they say he don't own anything and he just takes out loans, and then sometimes they say he don't even repay the loans because the banks write off. But like, hearing that, like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, people think they're over here, we're down here. Like, there's no in between. So when you make your content, when people like me make our content, we're like the next step up from being broke is getting out of that situation. And there's not much content. People are either creating content at the top, maybe a bit below, but no one's creating it at the bottom. And no one's showing you how to go to Tesco, spend £20 and make £1 reward card. Like, none of these big creators are going to do that. Like, it's not worth their time. If you're earning billions and millions, Elon Musk ain't going to tell you how to get £1 back in your Tesco shop. So that's where we come in, and we're the next step. And then hopefully there'll be enough people who take that step and they go on to do better things. Then they can look at the next people who are multi-millionaires, and they're showing you how to, take loans up against your stock and your houses and stuff like that to make more money. So
definitely, it's definitely needed for someone to give that guidance for people at such a lower level. But I even was talking about that on my Snap today, that some bits of financial guidance isn't made for all sorts of net worths. So some things that we make is for people trying to make their way out. And talking on making their way out, in terms of credit cards now, what would you say are the, not best, but ones that you've realised are really good in terms of credit building, ways that people can start looking to improve?
So if you're looking to get your first credit card, usually I'd recommend there's two. I think the two main ones are Aqua and Vanquish. I do like Vanquish because they have a lot of material on their website, and they won't give you a higher credit limit. Like, if you've got a poor credit score, they'll give you £100 credit limit, and like, you just got to learn. Like, you got to learn how to pay off. So they're being very responsible. So I think there's two of the best ones, but you don't have to be a credit card. Like, you can get even just put in, say, like, phone contract. Imagine, say, you're 19 and your mum was paying your phone contract before, but for some reason you got poor credit. Just getting her to transfer that into your name now, you're going to start building credit. So there's different ways to build it,
Yeah, and touching on that bank thing, what I realised, and it's kind of sad, that they actually prey on the people that are the least financially educated and those that have poor scores, because essentially that's who they make most of their money off, in terms of credit card fees, and APR, all sorts, and just hitting them over the head when it comes to prices. So again, teaching all this stuff so you guys understand and be like wareful of how these banks operate. They really make a lot of money of you that aren't really looking to like take your finances that seriously. They actually don't like people that pay off the credit cards every month. It's just like you're beating the system in a way. So it's kind of mad when you think of it like in that sense.
Yeah, the banks are making money off your money. Anyone you're doing transactions through is making some sort of money off you. So it's best to go with the ones that are going to offer you an incentive, because everyone's making money off you. even the ones with reward points are making money off you, but at least you're getting something in return, like for giving them your custom. So you just got to be savvy, really. Like.
Yeah, for sure. And then talking of reward points, what would you say are the best ones that someone should even me to look into? Because I'm trying to get into that.
Okay,
as well.
so the best for most things is probably Amex. For business, Amex. For personal, Amex. For if you like flying, like frequent flyers, Amex. They've got like a best range of them. However, I think it was Marks and Spencer's actually have a really good one, and Tesco's have a really good one. So if you can get all three, because not everywhere accepts Amex.
Yeah.
So because they have higher fees for the shop, so not all shops accept it. So yeah, if you could get all three.
Yeah, definitely. And some people may say, "Oh, the Gold Amex has a the Gold Amex has a yearly fee. What's the point of paying that?" Can you? I realize you have one. So can you talk about where it comes in terms of the benefits and how you can make that bet?
Yeah. So the first year of Amex Gold is free. Then I think after that it's £200 a year. But what I do with the gold one, I use the gold one for business and I use the platinum one for personal, which is free all the time. So with my business, I know the numbers it does, it makes way more than £200 in rewards. And no other credit card. I think there's a few new ones coming out now, but like there's not really a better one to get something back. So if I know my business is going to make me, £900 in rewards and I paid a £200 to them, I'm still up £700. So
exactly.
you gotta weigh up. But I wouldn't get the Amex Gold for personal after the first year. I would, if you can get it for the first year for free for personal, but I'd switch it to silver after that.
Yeah, because you need to be making that £200 yearly.
Yeah, for personal expenses, like especially me, I'm broke. Like I live in my means, so I'm not getting major points on my personal card. But with my business, everything's expense. Everything's going to have a return on the investment. So I'm happy to spend everything on that card. Obviously, it's going to get paid off, and then I get the rewards points on that one. Yeah.
And can you expand more on that in the sense that you're using your credit card more for cash flow for your reselling business?
Yeah.
Could you expand how it benefits you?
Yeah, that's a really good point actually. You can use a credit card for cash flow. Of course, you've got to be super careful, especially with reselling. You need to know exactly what you're buying, for it to sell on for you to be able to pay your credit card off. So more for cash flow, I would say. If you can, try and have the money to pay it off and use it for the points. But if you're trying to expand your business, again, it's not financial advice. You can, imagine you had a £10,000 credit limit and these Jordans are dropping today, and they sell it, like you can get, StockX, like you can get instant cash out. Yeah. So they're dropping today. Someone has offered you 10 pairs of them or whatever, so you spend £1,600 on these 10 pairs on your credit card. You don't physically have that money. They come, now you can cash straight out, and by the time the money comes, you got 30 days or 60 days to pay off the credit card. You've paid that back and you've made the money on top. So you can leverage it. Again, not financial advice, but you need to make sure you do your research before that, because it can be risky if you're left with stock that's not going to sell. Of course, you can return it, but most people ain't going to return it. They're going to wait to see if it sells, and then by that time it might be too late. So
yeah, it seems like a technique for those. You already know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you've done it with your own money before.
Yeah. If your business is already thriving and you've got a system going, then I wouldn't say start off by reselling, by maxing out your credit card. I'll say if you've got a good system going, you've got good cash flow already, this is a way to boost your finances in your business and make some more profit that you wouldn't have already. Yeah,
no, that's good. And also, I feel like, can you talk more about the concept of just living below your means? Because I feel like some don't understand that I'm broke, baby, it's a lifestyle. It's not just a slogan, it's a lifestyle that you live by.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. So I know you talk about it a lot, lifestyle inflation. Like, it's actually a thing. Like, no matter what you want to call it, it's definitely a thing. If you go from a 20 grand salary to a 40 grand salary, you're going to up your finances. But if you can just, resist the urge to up it too much. Like, of course, you can enjoy your life. Like, not everything's about saving and investing. But what I think, if I live the same, of course, if I get to be a multi-millionaire, I'm going to splash out. But right now, if I live the same, whether I'm earning £10,000 or £100,000, if for some reason the wage was to drop, I'm not going to be unhappy. Like, imagine I'm making imagine like everything's going well, making £250,000 a year, doing all this and all that, and I'm spending 200 like after tax, and I'm spending 200 of that. I've got 50 left, but the next year everything flops, and I go back to making minimum, like just to pay my bills. I'm gonna miss that lifestyle, and I'm gonna probably get depressed, and it might be hard to get out of that situation. But if I've been staying the same the whole time, I've got that money, I'm reinvesting it. I might have maybe went on one holiday.
Yeah.
Now the next year comes, and you never know, another pandemic might hit, and I've gone back down again. I'm not going to be depressed because my lifestyle ain't changed, my circumstance ain't changed.
And the other way, vice versa, if the investing has gone well now, your money is so long that you can now afford to like increase it ever so slightly to start enjoying it.
Of course, you can increase your lifestyle. You got to be realistic with it, like
be in moderation and understand.
Especially like, I mean, what's the difference between £1,000 holiday and a £10,000 holiday? Like once you come back, I'm still gonna think I had a sick time for that week. And you're going to think you had a sick time for that week, but it's subjective to who had the better time. I really enjoyed myself. Like, for me, that was a £10,000 holiday.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, actually. No, for sure, definitely. You just got to find ways where you can be content with the littlest things, literally. Because, again, I feel like some people are trying to up themselves. And I understand humans like that, human nature. You want to up yourself and get the next latest thing and the next latest gadget. But in that case, then if you aren't able to get the next latest thing, how are you going to feel? Yeah. So if you base all of your happiness around that, then it's like always trying to up yourself. It's just like you're looking for a downward spiral in the end. So it's definitely something people should look into. Another thing in terms of personal finance that many personal finance experts disagree on is okay, in terms of emergency fund, where would you say, how much do you think one should have? Obviously, I know it's dependent on circumstance.
Yeah, it's dependent on circumstance. So a lot from other experts, I've had 3 months, I think I've heard. I think that's fair, 3 months. But for me, it's more, I have a number I'm comfortable with. Like I like obviously to invest a lot of my money, but there needs to be a certain amount. If it's not in cash, it has to be something that can be liquidated into cash within 24 hours for me.
Quick question. In terms of an emergency fund, do you believe it should always be dead straight cash, or do you think it can be in a liquid asset?
You need to know that, like, say for example, it's risky because like crypto, there was a time where you couldn't withdraw from Binance. Even if you had it in US dollar Tether or whatever you hold it in, you couldn't. So it's risky, but there's certain platforms maybe that you can get the money out of. There's certain investments you can get the money out of. So I mean, I wouldn't want to advise anyone to.
But for you personally?
For me personally, things that I know I can cash out of straight away will probably be my stocks. Obviously, once it comes to Monday or whatever, they're going to sell. So I know, maybe not 24 hours, but I know I can get them within the week. And then by having credit cards, it's going to sound bad. If I need to liquidate an asset and it's going to take a week, I know I have 30 days to pay the credit card. So I can put money on that. I know that it's going to get paid in time. It might sound risky to other people, but it works for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. In terms of months, I think I like 6 months, just because I feel like 3 months is a little bit too short.
Yeah, it is a bit.
With 6 months, it gives you time to get back on your feet. Let's say if all goes to worse, 6 months is a good time to change your life around. Like you can focus for 6 months.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, so you have to be prepared. Like you have to be prepared.
6 months, especially because everything's all based online with what I do. It's very, you could say it's kind of volatile. Like one tweet can end your career, literally. So
I think an emergency fund does more for your mental than it does.
Yeah, it's more about just knowing that's there regardless. So I can go invest this.
You don't go to sleep at night worrying if this doesn't work tomorrow, then I ain't eating for the rest of the month. Like.
Exactly, and that's why I feel like a lot of people get it wrong. Like some people dear me thinking I don't have the urge to invest because they feel like it might go wrong. But me having that emergency fund, I now know that this money I can afford to invest it. I've paid my bills, all of that.
They always say invest what you afford to lose, and if you have an emergency fund, doesn't mean you can lose everything, but you got something there. If you do lose, you're paying your rent, you're paying your food, like you're paying your car. So yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, and then in terms of where I'll keep it, I like ETFs. I put in my S&P 500.
Yeah.
I believe in it so much that I feel like I can keep my emergency fund there, so I could grow alongside. And I have a student overdraft, so that's free as well. So if worse comes worse, I can use that. And I like the point about the credit cards because again, you have 30 days to pay certain things off. So if you had to wait a few days for it to get liquidated, then it's still a good time. But
yeah, definitely.